was that?
Loved it.
Pretty impressive.
So exciting seeing it live as well.
Yeah.
You hear it in the car, but just watching the mouth move. It's really something up close. It's
some mouth, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got a lot of Carly Simon about it.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
It's about the same aperture.
With
the book.
With the new book,
yeah. No, forget it. It's Rob's interview, not yours, for heaven's sake. Rob Beckett Smart TV begins tomorrow, 9 p.m, Sky Max. And now, brand new show.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Very
it's a brand
excited.
New, round of applause for a brand new show from the control room, please. Thank you. Brand new show.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Oh.
Brand new show.
Wow.
Is that good?
Look at that, yeah. Wow, you don't give a warning. So as soon as you say it, someone has to sprint to the soundproof door, whip it open, and then
they
the
don't
brand
have
new.
to. They're gagging to.
They love it. That's
They're
fun,
on
though, isn't
permanent
it?
standby. All right, so once again, here we go. It's Rob and his funny pals being funny on TV. You've got to come up with a reason to get, or an excuse to get on telly, and this time it's telly itself, and then you're just funny. So who are your resident funnies, and who are some of your guest funnies?
Right, so basically Sky said, do you want to do a panel show about telly? I was like, yes, I love telly.
Yes, please.
It's a proper quiz, so
Thank
you can
you.
play along at home as well, and it's really funny. But normally, whenever they go, do you want to do a show? They went, we've got some ideas for team captains. That's normally when I tap out. But they absolutely nailed it. They went, it's Josh Widdicombe, who I do Parenting Hell with, the podcast.
And you love.
Who I love,
Yes.
good friend of mine, been doing comedy with him 15 years. And then Alison Hammond, who I love.
So
and
do I.
everyone, she's unbelievable.
So do I. I love Alison Hammond. I've only met her once, but maybe twice. There was one particularly memorable meeting at a pub, a James Blunt's pub. Listen to this, clang, clang, clang,
Oh,
clang,
wow,
clang.
look at this, we're
A
getting
James
showbiz.
Blunt's pub for a Christmas lunch. And she was amazing. Just to be in her orbit, I was, and you know what? I've got loads of energy anyway.
Yeah.
But I was more energized than usual just by being near her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She pumps you up.
Oh,
Big time.
And she smells amazing.
Yeah, she does. She always
There's no
looks
better
incredible.
smelling person in show business than Alison Hammond. I don't know if it's right to say that or not. It's just a fact.
No, she smells great. No, I think if you publicly said she smelled awful, then that would be bad.
Yeah, and you think,
But I think if it's a good smell, I think that's fine.
And
isn't
also
it?
you-
she stinks.
yeah, but good stink.
Yeah, great stink. But yeah, no, she's amazing, and the best thing about panel shows is the dynamic.
Yeah.
And Josh is obsessed by TV, a bit of a TV nerd.
You wrote a book about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so he's desperate to win the quiz and stuff like that. And Alison doesn't really care that much, but she really wants to make sure that Josh doesn't win.
Yeah,
More than win.
And
which is
also,
good.
she does know a lot about telly.
Like, well, she's
but
on
she
it
just
all.
doesn't write books about it or give interviews about the fact they've written books
Well,
about
she's
it.
too busy being on the telly.
I know. And in the first episode, which I saw last night, Josh says, hang on a minute, this isn't fair, because it's basically, this is a quiz show about telly, and Alison's on all the programmes all the time.
Yeah.
So not only does she know about them, she works on them all the
Yeah,
time.
we did have a bake-off round that she was answering questions on, which felt unfair.
And Big Brother.
And Big Brother. Yeah, but it's hard to find a show she hasn't done. Strictly, she's done that. The Jungle, we're running out this morning. She's all over it. But no, it's brilliant. We had David Tennant on as well, David Morrissey from The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
Cush Jumbo. So all these proper, like, big actors. And, you know, Richard Ayoade, Ramesh, John Richardson were all on as well. So it's like a real mix. But what I found is I thought the actors might be a bit serious, but they see it as an opportunity just to go wild.
They're having
David
fun,
Tennant is
man.
off his nut.
Yeah,
I love him.
I saw David Tennant in the street the other day with his wife.
Yeah.
And he
God, where do you live? It's like Stella Street. You're all rubbing shoulders with all the famous people.
well, it was Regent Street.
Oh, well,
he was
yeah,
shopping.
fair enough. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
And what was great about him was that he was trying to, and I know David, so I can say this. I think he was trying to not look like David Tennant. But the thing was, he really looked like David Tennant, not trying to look like David Tennant.
Right.
Do you know what I mean by
Yeah.
that?
So I've seen Alan Carr in the street. And he cannot. He tries his best to keep a low profile.
Big scarf, hat.
Yeah, he wears a scarf, but you can still see his mouth through the scarf
Yeah.
with Alan Carr.
Oh,
So
my
yeah,
gosh.
no chance for Tennant.
Well, great lineup. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, it's Nicola Coughlan's on it as well. Derry Girls. So it's
You've got the
we're
people.
blessed with
You've
the
got
guests.
the stuff. You've got the laughs. You've got the bants. Of course you have. Did you pick on your favourite TV shows? Because I know that No Likey, No Likey features a lot on episode 1.
Yes.
Did you cherry pick those?
So with the buzzer rounds for the teams, we picked famous sort of quotes from shows, and I did the impression of them, which was quite fun.
Yeah.
So that makes an appearance in that one. But we picked. There's a great round where TV showdown round where we get somebody who's an expert on a show to go up against a whole other team.
That's great, man.
And so they were doing it on their desks, but I thought it's actually they were winning a lot because obviously they're obsessed by that show, and the other team, even though there's 3 of them, may not know as much. But then I said, well, why don't we just make it more stressful? Because we can't give them more knowledge, so we just put them really close to each other. other, like face to face, like a boxing stare down, and they just lose their head. So it's amazing. So we get them, and they're all like on a bench, like they're the back of a bus, all sat squashed in face to face, and it's so funny watching someone crumble.
Yeah, because they're tense, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the other person's like really chilled, and the more chilled you are, the more things come to you because you have all this extra capacity.
Yeah.
You're at ease. You're in the moment. You all have all your powers available to you.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of doing a pub quiz, but having to answer the questions in the urinal an inch from someone's nose when you turn
By
right.
the way, that's got to happen.
Yeah, that's the next series.
That's the final. That's the new final for Smart TV. Oh, I love the final bit of the urinals bit. Yeah, excellent. Rob, it's so cool, man. How many do you record at a time?
So we're doing one a day.
All right.
But then because our schedules are a bit tight, because it was we did do 2 in a day, which I do think was too many.
Right.
By the end of it, I was just like, I didn't know where I was.
And you don't know whether you're being funny or not being funny, or you just want to get it over with. Because you want to. It's like when a football match goes to extra time, and somebody won in the 105th minute last night of normal time. Who was that? One of the matches was decided in the 105th minute, but not because it was the 15th minute of extra time, because it was the 105th minute of normal time.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Newcastle beat Blackburn, didn't they, on penalties?
On penalties, that would have been Leicester at Bournemouth.
That's what it was.
Right, yeah.
I didn't know until last night, until the Newcastle match, that there are no replays from the 4th round of the FA Cup. Did you know that?
I did not. No, I did not.
So that's why all the games go to penalties now.
Right, I didn't know that because it's too busy.
Yeah.
The fixture. I don't want to start, veer
don't
into talk
get
sport
us
here. But it's too busy. The fixture
says
list.
the Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, how's it going this year?
Yeah, I don't think we'll win the league, but we're doing well. But I, about a month ago, I was like, we need a striker. We keep losing because we haven't got a striker, and they've scored 25 goals in 5 games. So I feel like I should stop having opinions.
And Erling Haaland scored 25 goals in one game last night, or nearly.
Just
anyway.
after we said he'd
Machine.
forgotten how to score.
Rob Beckett Smart TV begins tomorrow 9 p.m. Sky Max. And now, did you feel more comfortable as the recording of a brand new show went on from episode to episode? What did you learn about your own new show?
So we did a pilot of it and loads of run throughs in the office, which really helps. They're fun.
Can I nerd out on this?
Go on.
So what did you drop from the pilot? What did you do more of as a result of the pilot?
So the buttons round, the buzzers round came from the run throughs because they didn't have buzzers. So I just started improvising. Funny lines from shows that are in your head, but you don't realise they're in your head until someone else says them.
Yes.
So in EastEnders with Cat Slater, and she goes, "You ate my mother." Yes, I am. That burnt into my head from years ago. So that came from it, and then also the TV showdown round where they go head to head. We made them literally go head to head. That was an idea that come from the run-throughs because they kept on winning. So it was like, we need to make this more stressful.
And what happened? What did you lose? What didn't work? What didn't fly?
Oh, there was one thing about there's a props round where you guess the props, right? Yes. And we was trying to work out a way to have the props. There's 5 props from a TV show. You have to guess what show it's from the props, okay?
Right.
So I was working it out. Sometimes it's too easy, sometimes it's too hard. But they're trying to work out a funny way to get the props into the studio. So at one point in the run-throughs, there was a guy in a green morph suit that was going to be like, oh, we'll edit him out. So it looked like it was floating in.
Nice.
And basically, the guy has quite thin trousers on. The morph suit was tight. It was very distracting from the downstairs region. And the poor fella, and he did it a few times. And normally you have ideas on a show. Maybe this, maybe that. Everyone went, we can't do that. Yeah. That is insane.
Was
so
he
that got
gutted?
dropped. No, I think he was relieved. I don't think he really wanted that gig. I think it was one of those sort of late night, why don't we just do this kind of things? But that didn't make it.
Your hair, I've only seen episode 1, but your hair looked amazing.
Did it?
Yeah, you did.
Thank you.
Did you put some highlights in? It was a bit thicker than it has been recently.
I was wearing it forward like a French crop, and everyone gave me loads of grief. So I went back to the side parting. But no, I'd come back from holiday when I filmed that.
Well,
so
it was noticeable.
So basically, my hair. People accuse me of dyeing my hair because in the summer it's light and in the winter it's dark.
Right.
Well, if I was dyeing it, I'd do it all year, wouldn't I? That's obviously the sun bleaching it. So the sun bleaches it.
I wouldn't worry about what they're saying.
But yeah, it does. I look good because I've just come off holiday.
Great,
that
man.
I nailed it. I got him back on the Saturday, and then we started filming on the Sunday. And after holiday, you feel yourself for about 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily for me, I filled the whole series in those days. Nice. So I was just like, this is unbelievable. I've lucked out here.
It sounds like you might be getting the hang of this. And
What's that?
The whole thing. And then this philosophy extends to your brand new live tour, Giraffe, because you're saying for the first time ever, you love going on tour anyway. It's your favourite thing.
Yes.
It would fill a lot of people with absolute dread. It would make them feel... Some people do throw up just before they go on stage. They're so nervous. Once they're on stage, they're fine. But you love being on stage. However, you said you think you might have nailed the organisation of this tour, not better than ever before, just for the first time ever.
Yes.
Because you built it around your life, and you go, oh, you can do this without running out of everything in the process.
Yes, so basically when you start in comedy, you sort of on the open mic circuit, and then you get offered this, you get offered that. It's sort of like a runaway train.
Yes.
And you're just clinging on,
Yes.
trying to get as much experience, get the right gigs, get a bit of money in, pay you, and it is, and then then you have kids, you know, oh my God, so now you're holding on to your wife and your kids on the train. And
Yeah.
So it's madness. And then it's sort of like, and I wrote about it in my book, and we spoke about it before, but when lockdown came, my biggest fear was, you know, all my work going, and it did go, but then actually it all worked out in the end. And with this tour, it's the first tour that I've written without sort of fear and worry that I'm going to be found out for imposter syndrome, or that, you know, with the poverty mindset, that it's all going to get turned off. Everyone's going, right, no, come back to the market. You used to work at the flower market, back to the market. You've had your little, you know, time away and all that. But now I'm sort of in a place where my self-worth isn't wrapped up in me as a comedian. Yeah. Me as a comedian is a different thing I go and do, the same way as me as a five-a-side footballer on a Sunday when I play is a different thing I do. It's just a part of me, but not all of me. Before, everything was wrapped up in my performance. So if it went well, I was king of the world. If it went bad, I was a complete loser. Yeah. That's gone now. Now I work hard, I write jokes, I go out and I tell them, and I look forward to it, and I love it. And the way it will go is the way it will go. And at the moment, it's going well. So I'm just going to keep doing that and not overthinking it. But it's all planned out. I've got the school holidays off with the kids, booked holidays with the families, and I said to the promoters, you can have the rest of the dates. And that is why we're stretched to 2026.
Like it.
It's a big old tour. It's called Giraffe, robbeckettcomedy.com. Get yourself some tickets. I'm going all over the gaff in all the best theatres in the country. I love doing theatres. They're so magical. And I just feel so lucky I can go up to the middle of nowhere, or I can go to big cities up north where I've never went to as a kid and sell it out. So it's amazing.
Here, I've got all the dates in front of me. It's very impressive. It's pretty cool. It's like Taylor Swift. November, December, January next year, all over the country, as you say. And you've stolen Vasis's fun fact, which was you're the first person to come on promoting something in 2026.
Yeah, no one has come in this studio yet, until you now.
Really?
Who's got dates already in 2020.
London Palladium 2026.
Wow, how cool is that, man?
Yeah, I know, it's unbelievable. I can't believe
That's
it. That's really.
also a vote for yourself, that because you're looking towards, that whatever happens this Christmas, next Christmas, summer holidays, what goes on with the family, adventures, hopefully not disasters, but you never know.
Yeah.
And then you start in September. We know that the real year is September to September. It's not really January to December, especially if you're a parent.
Yeah.
And you've got two of those and two of all those going on, and then you're heading towards the Palladium. That gives you a little bit of security, doesn't it? A little bit of a vector, a little bit of an idea because of where you're going, a direction. Doesn't matter in the end whether you get there or not, but it's great. There's that lovely phrase: if you don't know where you're heading, any road will take you there, and that's not a place you want to be.
No, I like having a sort of lot of short-term goals, long-term goals, and knowing I've got that. But stand-up is my one true love when it comes to anything in entertainment. I love doing podcasts and telly and all that, but stand-up's the thing I fell in love with. That's the thing I love doing most. And all I've ever wanted to do was do it in theatres. So why rush it and try and get it all in and out the way? Oh, that's done. What? No, this is what I want to do. I'd happily, if comedy was a theatre at the end of my road at 11 a.m, I'd gig every day.
Yeah.
It's only the travel, but because I've spread it out, I'll be going to all these venues refreshed and ready and excited. Yeah. Not like, oh God, I've got another one. So.
And all the better for it. And you have been tied on tour before, as I've been tied on the telly and tied on the radio.
Of course.
And that's not a great position to put yourself in. But if you can sort of carry it off then, when you really do look after yourself and you give yourself the right kind of self-care that you deserve, all the better for it. The audience, they love you, they're going to absolutely adore you this time around.
Yeah, no, I can't wait, and I love being able to, when you are refreshed and you're excited about it.
Brilliant.
You're more in the moment during the show, so I can chat to them and I talk to the audience. That's why I'm doing theatres rather than arenas. You can connect with them, you can talk to them, and then the show becomes about them, and then there'll be jokes that happen that will never happen ever again.
Yeah.
And that's the magic of comedy, where if you get too busy and you just write a script and churn it out every night, you're basically doing a one-man play, and that's not what I think comedy is. It's
I
about
agree
connecting with people in a room and take your jokes, but just being as funny as possible, whatever way that is.
And if it's any good, that's fine. But if you're tired, you'll do well to remember what you've written and try not to phone it in, and try not to sort of not have one over on the audience, shortchange the audience.
No, exactly. And also, I think when you get, I'm in a very privileged position now. Where I've got lots of security from my work and my podcast, and I'm very lucky to have that happy family life and things like that. And so I want to go in there and connect with them and enjoy it, and not just sort of rush through it.
Exactly. I mean, in a way, it's called Giraffe, the tour, but it could be called Smell the Roses, but that's not very funny. But you could call it Smell the Audience, because you're taking time to smell the audience.
Well, exactly.
That's what it is.
Well, yeah, well, it's called Giraffe because my kids love giraffes. Yeah. And also, if you're trying to sell something, you need something that's like, you need to create something that people like, a logo or a brand, but like, what's more famous than giraffes? Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows what a giraffe is.
Will there be a giraffe
funny image
on set? Or?
No, so basically, I thought it'd be funny to have a long neck in the poster, and then I added hooves for a laugh, but I thought I'd take them off because it's mental to have hooves on the poster. But when I was in Pizza Express with the kids, and they saw the final poster and said, where are the hooves gone? I was like, oh, we're not having hooves. And they started getting like, oh, what? We wanted hooves. And they started kicking off. And I'd had like 2 glasses of red wine. I was like, oh, do you know what? Just stick hooves on it. So I am looking at a picture of me with hooves now for the next 3 years.
Well, I think that's fair enough, because you've got to keep the kids happy.
Well, exactly, and who cares? It's only a poster, isn't it? It's just got to have my face and name on it.
This whole thing about you loving being on stage.
Yeah.
Some people can't think of anything worse. They dry up when they've got to speak in public, if it's a best man speech, or if they've got to say something at work, in a meeting. And some people who are, and a lot of people who don't know about this don't believe it. A lot of people who are paid to be on stage can't stand it.
Yeah.
They can't stand being on stage, but it's what they know they have to do as part of their job. And they still go through it, and it's some kind of really weird sort of masochistic kind of thing they put themselves through, and they don't need to, and they shouldn't really. But you're the opposite. Like Gary Barlow's like you are. Gary Barlow just loves being on stage. If he's behind a piano in front of 100,000 people in Hyde Park, which I've seen him do, he couldn't be more comfortable if he was sitting at home in his favourite armchair watching his favourite Netflix box set.
I don't get that sort. I get excitement about going out,
I know you do.
but I just think there's like 2,000 people here that have paid money and they want to laugh. They've already signed up. Do you know what I mean? They're half in.
They've got laughter in their tanks.
Yeah, and they're going, right, I've been looking forward to this.
We're full of laughter.
Exactly. So I go out and get it out.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm more comfortable doing, I love being at home, the kids and stuff like that. And that's, on the sofa watching Gladiators is my happy place, right?
How good is the new Gladiators?
It's so good. So being on so we make little, the no one bites the dust hands. We make little craft hands and stuff. Yeah. So that is my happy place. Indoors with the kids, takeaway, and the football on, and Lou and the kids. That is my happy place. Second to that,
I want to be there. By the way.
Oh, it's great. And then on stage is second. I'd rather be on stage doing an arena. I feel more comfortable or more relaxed doing a theatre or arena than going to a wedding of someone I don't know that well.
Yeah, no,
I found more stressful and more overwhelming.
Yeah, I love being with my fam. I love being at home. I love looking after myself and exercising, and I love being on the radio. I love being on the radio so much that I don't really want to do other things nowadays, because it will take away from any energy that I can bring here, and I want to bring all my energy here. You want to put all your energy on the stage.
Exactly, yes. That's why I've sort of trimmed down all the other stuff, and then
great, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I'm just very, very lucky and privileged to be in this position.
You're in a good place, my
looking
friend.
forward to it.
We are done for time. Anything else you want to say while you're here?
No, not really. No, that's me done. Watch Smart TV tomorrow night, 9:00, Sky Max, and buy a ticket to Giraffe, or more, not buy more than one. By 5.
If you're in
Dare
Reading,
you buy a whole theatre full? Go on, robbeckett.comedy.com.
If you're in Reading,
yes,
and you're at a loose end,
yeah,
in early June, 2025. Let's say Saturday the 7th of June, 2025, and you think, oh, Rob's I'll buy tickets to Rob.
Yeah.
To fill that little hole in my diary in 18 months' time.
Yeah.
Because?
You can't, because you've already sold out.
Oh, yes. One of the sold out ones. Also, I'd say it is in 2026, but the price of the tickets, I think, decent price, about 35, which is very competitive. But what I'd say, with the way inflation's going, you could be on for a bargain there.
Well, you could be on for a profit
by 2026.
If you flip them. Yeah, so if you think about if you think about buying a Rob Beckett ticket as an investment, then you're looking
like
at
an NFT.
Thursday,
but
the 5th
what I'd say is
February.
I'm announcing some more dates as well, so don't buy them off Touts or that terrible place that overcharges. And there's more being announced. Tats. Sorry, Chris.
Brighton, no, I like it. Thursday, the 5th of February, Brighton, the Dome. By the way, lots of Brighton fans very worried about tonight's game because Brighton are playing Wolves in the FA Cup away, and they've got lots of injuries.
Yeah, buy a couple of tickets just in case you lose.
Brighton and Wolves, two teams doing unbelievably well in the Premier League. So they're definitely
Brighton are 7th.
Yeah,
I know, it's mad.
And Wolves are 8th. I mean, it's really...
Isn't it fun, Chelsea and Man United being rubbish?
Yeah.
Isn't it fun? Do you know what? It is fun, isn't it?
You're such a typical Arsenal fan because you're 2 points behind Liverpool and you're like, yeah, we ain't going to win the league.
Well, it's just Man City, like, they're
You're more fearful of Man City than Liverpool?
Yeah, because of their injuries. I think if Liverpool had a full squad, but with the Klopp leaving effect, that could push them over. But I do think... I don't know. I can't see Arsenal doing it.
Sunday's game?
Oh, it was amazing.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
I just don't know.
Such a great game.
They just sort of crumbled in the extra time.
They
Chelsea
disappeared.
Yeah,
they literally disappeared.
Not good.
And do you know that even though Klopp brought on those 3 teenagers with 86 minutes gone, 4 minutes to go in normal time, do you know that even when he brought those teenagers on, the average age of the Chelsea team was younger than the average age of the Liverpool team.
Was it?
It's just that they had more mid-20s stars on their team. So they had more senior players on their team, but they were younger senior players than Liverpool. And I think that Liverpool's average age was 24, even with the 3 teenagers on. And I think that Chelsea's was 23.
You can't beat that self-belief and team, which Chelsea haven't got.
If you play with joy, if you go on stage with joy, if you come on the radio with joy, it's a superpower because it's super fuel.
Yes.
And if you're playing against someone like that or you're going on with that in your tanks, then you're going to be fine.
Well, Van Dijk looked unbeatable. He looked like he was like an Avenger in the middle of the pitch compared to everyone else. Yeah.
He was really emphatic, forceful, energetic, inspirational, but overtly calm. More calm than he usually is.
Yes. Yeah,
he's a very calm dude.
Yeah.
He's from the Lowlands.
Yeah, he'll be very calm when he signs for Real Madrid when Klopp leaves, fingers crossed. That's the plan.
Did you see the headline on the back of the Sun on Monday? Because of the kids coming on. Kindergarten Klopp.
Oh, love it.
Come on.
Well, I love the £1 billion bottle jobs from Neville was good as well. That was great. What lines. Look at that.
It was all good.
Poetry in football.
All good. More football on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 tonight. FA Cup action, Vassos.
Yeah, FA Cup tonight. It's Chelsea Leeds, a repeat of that 1970 final where 28 million people watched basically 2 teams who should have got sent off, all of them. Forest Man United, Wolves Brighton and Liverpool Southampton.
All right, TalkSport and TalkSport 2 tonight. And uninterrupted coverage of 2 of those games. You've got to go to TalkSport now.
Yeah, I'm going into TalkSport now. Is that all right? I feel like I'm double cheating.
It's fine, don't worry about that. Because the guy who's been on TalkSport as their guest between 8:30 and 9, Charlie P. Brooks, is coming here.
I want to go in there and talk about music.
So it's 2 for 1. When you go, you can talk about music on TalkSport this morning because they've just released their brand new Cheltenham Trail. Because TalkSport's never more TalkSport than on 2 occasions. One, when they go to the Ryder Cup, because they always go to the Ryder Cup. And also, they always go to Cheltenham.
Yes.
And they have done another country song, a 2-minute song, as their trailer for Cheltenham.
I want to hear that.
Some people don't like it. Some other people think it's hilarious.
I think sort of like that the Woolpackers song. Remember that from Emmerdale?
Yeah.
Hillbilly Rock, Hillbilly Roll. That's a classic.
Right, you got to go, otherwise we're going to get in trouble.
Right, bye.
All right, thanks so much. Well done, Rob.
Bye, everyone.
Great to see you, man.
Cheers.
Have a great everything.
Have a great show.
All right, pal. Cheers.
Virgin Radio.